Okay, so today we are going to talk about some subject and object pronouns, and a lot of this you will realize should be some review from our grammar 10s this year and also our grammar warm-ups, because we've been focusing a lot on pronouns, specifically subject and object pronouns. But before you listen to all of this, I want to make sure that you have out your charts for your notes. So they look like this, and we're going to be in the subject and the object area. And then also these charts. Okay, so you need to have both charts out. Okay, the first one, the blank one I just showed you, is where you'll be taking your notes. And then these two charts, subject and object pronouns, which is what we're going to start with today, you're going to be filling in the pronouns that belong in each section for first, second, and third person singular and plural. Okay, so first thing is that every complete sentence contains two parts, a subject and a predicate. Okay, this should be a review from elementary school. So here, the subject is what or whom the sentence is about, while the predicate tells something about the subject. So for example, Judy and her dog run on the beach every morning. There's a subject and there is a predicate part of the sentence. Try to figure out what the subject is before we move on. Okay, first you find the verb, and then you ask the question, who or what is doing the verb? So in this case, we have the word run, and the answer to who is running is Judy and her dog. So Judy and her dog is the subject. All right, here's another one. We spilled popcorn on the floor. What is the verb of the sentence? The verb is spilled. So who did the spilling? We. We did the spilling, so we is the subject. Okay, so that's a quick review, just to get you remembering there are two parts of the sentence, subject and then the predicate. So just very quickly, try to find the subject in the sentences below. You can even pause this video and see if you can figure it out, just for a quick self-check. Okay, so number one, the answer is my little brother. The way I got that was I found the verb, which is broke, and then I said, okay, who did the breaking? And the answer was my little brother. Number two, the answer is his Uncle Bob. And then number three, the subject is those soldiers. Oh, number four. The answer is our babysitter, because I found the verb arrived, and then I asked myself who is doing the arriving, and the answer was our babysitter. So check yourself. Okay, the predicate, so the opposite of the subject. Okay, it's just the other part of the sentence. So since we already found the subject, the predicate should be super easy. You start with the verb, and then you go through all of the modifiers and adjectives and prepositional phrases that go along with the verb. So these are the answers for the predicate. Broke his finger, asked for directions, carried guns, arrived late. You can always check yourself for the predicate by asking yourself, okay, what did the subject do? Or what did the subject want? Or what does the subject like? Or what about the subject is being told to me? Okay, so this is where we get into the pronoun conversation. That was just a quick review to get your head remembering the different parts of the sentences. So pronouns take the place of nouns. They take different forms to do different jobs. So we have very many different types of pronouns, okay? We're going to start with subject and object today. All right, you should write this down. This is probably one of the first things you might want to have down in your blank notes, the charts that are totally blank, not the gray ones. Okay, so underneath subjective, where it says types of pronouns, you should write that pronouns are subject pronouns are pronouns used as subjects. Subject pronouns are pronouns used as subjects in the sentences. Okay? Okay, now I want you guys to get out your gray chart, and if you need to press pause because I'm going too quickly, please press pause and then restart it when you're ready to move on. Okay, so take out your gray charts. Remember, those are the ones that look like, sorry, I have a lot of things pulled up. The things that look like this, the charts that look like this. Okay, so go ahead and pull these out, and we're going to fill out the subject part. Okay, so we are going to start with I. Okay, I is a singular first person noun. I, pronoun. I is a singular first person pronoun. Okay? Second person, you is the singular second person pronoun. If I'm talking to just one person, I say you, da 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 da. And then third person, there are 3 singular pronouns. Okay? All right, for plural, first person, we, because I'm including myself, that's what makes it first person, but I am talking about more than one person, so that makes it plural. Okay? You, this is kind of a funny one because we just said that you is singular second person. It's also plural second person. Think about if I'm talking to a whole class. I can say you need to do this, okay? And you know I'm talking about more than one person, but you have to be careful when you see the pronoun you because it could be used for different types of pronouns. So you have to make sure you're reading the context. Okay, and then the plural third person form of subject pronouns is they. Okay, so you should have this written in your chart. If you're unclear exactly about, about where to write this down, I'm going to go very, hopefully, quickly to show you guys where it would be, okay? So I'm sorry that my screen is sideways. That's just how I made this slide. Apologies. Okay, so first person, I. Second person, sorry, my handwriting's not going to be great. You. Okay, third person, he. Oh, it's hard to write. He, she, it. Okay, going over to the plural side. I got my tablet, so this might be better. It might not. Okay, we, and then you again. And third person is they. Okay, so these are your subject pronouns. So make sure your chart looks like this before we move on. Press pause if you need to. Remember, you can always press pause to make me go slower. Okay, so in this situation, the subject is I. Who does the enjoying? I do. Okay, I enjoy water sports. And the same goes for this sentence. He was the best surfer. Who was the best surfer? He was. So you will notice that I is taking the place of somebody's name. He is taking the place of somebody's name. That's what makes it a pronoun. They're taking the place of other nouns that were used as subjects. Okay, make sure that the subject is in the subject pronoun case. All that means is that when you are using a subject pronoun, make sure you're in fact using a subject pronoun and not another type of pronoun. Okay, if you are using a pronoun in the subject part of the sentence, you must use one of the pronouns we just filled out in our charts. Okay, so for example, my friends are thinking about summer jobs. Should I use they or should I use them? One of these is a subject pronoun, the other is not. Okay, they is the pronoun I would have to use because it is a subject pronoun. Okay, so they is the correct choice because it is a subject pronoun. Them is an object pronoun, which we will get to in just a second. Okay, and I would go ahead and make sure that you do have written down in your blank chart these pronouns. So I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay. And then just one more thing I would add to your subject pronoun blank chart for notes is a couple of examples so that you can reference later. So here's an example you can use. Just make sure you fix the noun to be a pronoun. So Wendy and he clean houses for money. Okay, so for your example, you could write Wendy and he clean houses for money. Okay, and then underline he as the subject pronoun. Okay, here's another few examples that you could use to write down in your blank notes. Okay, and I'm just going to go through and circle them. This might be a good point too for you to pause this video and see if you can get the correct answers. And make sure you understand why. You can see that the verb, I'm going to underline the verb in each sentence, and then you ask yourself, okay, who is a careful writer? Who were the first ones? Who made a decision? Who planned? Okay. And if they are completing the verb, if the pronoun is completing the verb, doing the verb, it's always going to be used as a subject pronoun. Okay? All right, moving on to object pronouns. So we are done taking notes in the subject pronouns. You should definitely have the definition. You should maybe have the pronouns written down just in case you lose your chart that we filled out together. And then you should definitely have a couple of examples, at least 2 examples with the subject pronouns underlined. Okay, moving on to object pronouns, and this is the definition of an object pronoun. Pronouns in the objective case or object form are used as the object of the sentence, okay? If you don't know what these things are, it's not super helpful to write them down. So let's write together, well, maybe if my pen starts working, that's awesome. Okay, there we go. So pronouns, object pronouns, act as the object of the sentence. Ooh. And then I would say this because sometimes we still get a little bit confused, so I need you guys to write this down. It receives the action of the verb. Okay, so it's literally the opposite of a subject pronoun. Okay, so subject pronouns do the action, object pronouns receive the action. Okay, and then you can write, here are some object pronouns. Here are, the object pronouns. And then copy these down to your blank notes. Okay, and then we will fill out the gray charts together in just a second. Okay, so me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. And you will notice again, me is singular and first person because I'm talking about myself. You is singular. Him, her, it, all singular. Let me change colors. Maybe. Well, I thought there was a way. I think I just did this. Okay, here we go. I'm going crazy. Okay, and then us would be plural because I'm talking about myself and somebody else. You, we just talked about, can also be plural. And them is plural because I'm talking about more than one person. Okay, really quickly. Hopefully you caught this. Do you see anything familiar about these two? Okay, they're the same for subject. So don't automatically assume when you see you, it's going to be subject or object because you is both subject and object. It depends on how it's being used in the sentence. For example, if I say, you completed your homework. Who did the completing? You did. You did the action, so that would make it subject. Okay? In that situation. But if I said, I'm going with you to the mall, okay? Who's doing the going? I'm doing the going. Okay? And I'm going with you to them all. In that situation, it's acting as an object of a preposition. It is the object part of the sentence. It's in the predicate. Okay, let's go ahead and fill out our chart just so I don't forget. Discard. Here we go. Okay, and it's going to be sideways again. I'm really sorry. Okay, so object. Oh, I got out of my pen. Okay, so object. Me is singular. You. Third person. Him. Her. It. Us. For plural, first person. You for plural, second person. And then them for plural, third person. So pause this if you need to make sure you get all of these down. I'm going to go back. Okay. We're almost done. You're hanging in there. You're doing a great job. Hopefully a lot of this is review. Okay. I'm not going to go super into these different types of objects, but you're more than welcome to pause and read and take notes if you'd like. Okay. So here's some practice. So for number 1, it says, Rose is walking toward Tim and blank. Okay, which one should I choose for the object? The answer is them. Okay, that's the object pronoun out of these. Okay, if I wanted to replace Rose, what would I use? She, right? And then ask yourself, is she the subject or the object? She's doing the walking. She is the one doing it. So it would be subject. Okay? She is always subject. All right. Number 2, Lana sent Arturo and blank invitations. Which one is the object pronoun? Okay. And number 3, the manager hired Keisha and blank. Who's doing the hiring? The manager. So he's the subject. This is the verb. The rest is the object. So I would use the object pronoun. Please keep the secret between you and me. Okay? Understood. You is the subject because it's a command sentence. But this is a preposition. Okay? And this is in the object part of the sentence, this pronoun that we're trying to figure out. So, would it be me or I? Which one is the object pronoun? Okay? Alright, if you would love to find out some more information about subject and object pronouns, you can go to this link and watch it. I think it's a fun little music video for some review. But you are done reviewing, learning about, taking notes on subject and object pronouns. You will do practice online on its learning, and you will do super well. I'm sure of it.